Good morning. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. I am back in the truck today. Don't want to be in the truck. Didn't want to do this in the truck, but circumstances has got to the point where it's either do one in the truck today or we're not going to get one done. I'm several days behind on getting something uploaded, and it's not that we haven't been recording stuff. We have. It's just been terrible quality. We've had fits with the weather, fits with the rain, fits with the wind, freezing cold, and then we wind up with technology failures and that we haven't got figured out yet. The microphones have they're not working on any of the phones. We've tried to change all the cords and settings and everything, and so there's something we're missing. We don't have it figured out yet. And so when we're outside and trying to record and the traffic is so terrible on this highway, and it got so, I'm like, we can't upload that till we get this figured out, but I need to do something. So I said, well, we'll go sit in the truck again. And the phone is close enough that it'll record good enough. You'll hear me. Truck does a good job of blocking out the sound of the traffic. And so this is what we're going to do. We adapt and overcome. But I know sometimes it feels like Ma and Pa kettle doesn't come down from the hills when Mom and I start struggling with this technical stuff. So this is going to be obviously a cigar video today. I do have the podcast that we started, Dry Creek Wrangler Podcast. And so most of that type stuff I've started recording and putting over there. I had a little bit of rumbling, not unkind rumblings, okay, very courteous rumblings, but a little bit of rumblings that I actually listened to for a change. I'm like, okay, these guys I need to listen to. I have folks on here that have been a subscriber and been faithful on here since I very first started way back. Back when this channel started out exclusively horses, wrangling, riding, tack gear. And there for a while we got a lot into this other side of things. You know, people started saying, hey, you know, where's the horse content? And, you know, and I don't want to go off and leave these folks. They're the faithful ones. They're the ones that helped me get this started and get this built. And so I do want to bring this channel, the YouTube side of things, back more in line with the ranching and the horsemanship, things like that. And then cigar talk on the podcast. But we recorded like 4 different times. I tried to do a video on some tips, some things that if you're going into farming, going into ranching, you're buying your first homestead, some traps and some tips and stuff that might help you. But it hasn't turned out, and it is such poor quality. I'm like, I'm not going to upload that. So we're going to still work on that. But today we're doing this. We're going to do a cigar video today, not on cigars, but I mean just sitting here talking and having a cigar. And speaking of cigar, it's a Perdomo 20th anniversary, which I've had on here before. This is one of the cigars that Shane over at Cigar Place sent me, and he sent me a pack of like 5 of them along with some others. And you just about can't hardly go wrong with a Perdomo. They're a high quality, very high quality cigar company, hand-rolled cigar company. And this 20th anniversary is just very, very flavorful. It's rich, but not brutally overpowering in strength. Box press, quality rolled. It's a very good cigar. And so I appreciate Shane for sending me some of those. The Cigar Place.biz, that's where I buy all my online cigars now. And they're taking really good care of me. And the customers that have got back to me said, you know what, because you said, I went over and ordered some and tried them out, and They told me, said, you're right, man. They're a good company. They do take care of you. If they weren't a good company, they wouldn't be on this channel. And so anyhow, I was reading and doing a lot of research, and I found out that there are more people listening to podcasts than there are that watch TV. I mean, think about that, worldwide. There are more people listening to podcasts than scroll through YouTube and watch YouTube videos. And there's more people who listen to podcasts than go to movies and watch movies. And the thing that is significant to me in that is so much of podcast out there is trying to get people to be successful. And they talk a lot about success, a lot of podcasts. Now there's some, they talk about politics, and there's some that talk about religion, but there's a lot that talk about success, whether it's success financially, success in business, success in marriage and family raising, or success in whatever. And that's great. I mean, you want to be successful. We work hard to be successful. I'm working hard to be successful right now. I'm working hard to be successful instead of working hard to be a good employee to make somebody else successful. There's a difference. And I'm finding out there's a difference. But every coin has two sides. And you can't have one side if you don't have the other side. Okay? And so if we're not careful, we look at it in such a way that if we're not successful, if we don't have success, then there is no plus on the other side. There is no value on the other side. So that leaves those who have not found success, it leaves them in the dirt. They have nothing to hold on to that says, well, at least this. There was a saying, back years ago, they used to talk about, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. And then it came out, people started mocking that and said, well, it does matter. If you don't win, then you lost, and nobody wants a loser. Okay? And I think we lost something. We lost a chunk of our cultural soul when we bought into that. And everybody can't be successful. And everybody can't quantify success the same way. It doesn't have the same definition for everybody. But as you know, as many of you know, I am a reader, and so I've got a piece here, a little short piece, that's one of my two favorite historical figures. This may come as a surprise to you. My two favorite historical figures are Winston Churchill and Theodore Roosevelt. And it's, so in 1910, I think, April 23rd, 1910, Teddy Roosevelt was in Paris, and he was making a speech. And in the middle of that speech, he said this, and I'm going to read it to you. I've got a plaque of it. My kids, it means so much to me. My kids went and got me a plaque that has this on it. I want you to listen to it. Okay? It's not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. That person does not count. Okay? That insert was mine. The doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, and strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. I think this is more relevant today than it has ever been in this country, because we have a country full of critics, and the anonymity of social media and the ubiquity of the keyboard has made that so. And people are critics. We have people who can't cook, but they're food critics. We have people who have never made a movie in their life, but they get paid to critique. We have music critics. We have professional critics. Professional critics, people who make a living out of critiquing the work of those who are actually out there doing the work. And there is a tremendous amount of pride and dignity. Listen to me, especially you young folks. All right, young man, listen to me. There is for you a tremendous amount of dignity and pride in the midst of failure, in the fact that instead of being one of them fat cats up in the stands who are watching and getting entertainment from watching other people struggle, and who are throwing tomatoes and eggs down there and who are laughing and pointing, you're in the arena, and you might be covered in dirt, you might be covered in mud, you might be covered in blood, and you might be broken to some degree, but you can stand there with dignity and say, yeah, but at least I tried. And soon as I get these wounds bound up, and soon as I catch my breath and wipe some of this dirt off my face, I'm going back in that arena and I'm going to try again. I failed at this business. I tried to start this business and I failed. I went out and tried to do this job and I fell flat on my face and I got fired because I couldn't do it. And there's a certain amount of maybe shame and embarrassment in the fact, but at least I went out and tried. Yes, I got a horse. I never had a horse before, never been on a horse before. I got a horse before. I got a horse and I got on that horse and I promptly came off that horse. And now I'm limping. And now my backside's got a big bruise on it. And I got a scratch on the side of my face. But I got on the horse. And I'm going to get back on the horse. You want to know who matters in this world? Let me go off on a tangent here. Not everybody in this world matters. Now you just stop and think about that for a second, all right? Because of this stupid culture we've developed in this country where everybody gets a participation trophy, all right? And everybody wants to matter. And they want to matter so bad that they will take the most destructive part of who they are and make that their identity and demand that it matters. All right? Do I need to illustrate that? No, I'm not going to. But not everybody matters. There's people out there that just don't matter. They don't count. They are not important. This idea that, all men are created equal. No, they're not. Who said that? I mean, they put it in the Constitution and they said, that God created all men equal. Well, God didn't say that. In fact, you can find in the Bible where God very deliberately did not make all men equal. And if he did make all men equal, that's at the start, at the baseline when they're born. And some people decided to do something about it and some people didn't. Some people decided to live a life that don't count. It don't matter. They don't do anything that matters. They don't help anybody that matters. They don't count. They don't try. They don't get out there and do something. There is a difference. There is a difference between a successful life and a privileged life. And if you have two young men and one young man has $1 million in the bank account and a big house and a nice car, but his dad had $50 million in the bank and got him the nice house and the nice car, that is not a successful person. That is a privileged person. Success, the very definition of the word, denotes struggle, a fight. You have to win the fight. You have to win the struggle, and that brings success. And not everybody counts. Am I saying not everybody counts because not everybody's successful? No. I'm saying not everybody counts because not everybody tries. You hear what I'm saying? Not everybody tries. There are people out there who their entire deal is to get on there on social media or in person or at the job, and the only way they can lift themselves up and in their eyes make themselves significant is by pointing out what you're doing wrong and what you're failing at, as if that somehow elevates them above you. Well, it doesn't elevate them above anybody if they're not actually putting in the work and doing what needs to be done. We need to study, and we need to work and try to be successful at whatever it is we're attempting. But I would say it's more important that you're in the arena. It's more important that you're in the arena than it is that you succeed and win in the arena. I'm going to say that again. In my opinion, and that's just my opinion, all right, it's more important that you're actually in the arena, whatever your arena is, than it is that you succeed in that arena. Because you can be in the arena without succeeding, but you can try. But you cannot succeed unless you're in the arena trying. Okay? Don't put so much focus on succeeding that you have no focus left to put on trying again and again and again and again. Get in the arena and fail. They make series and movies and books about gladiators, Roman gladiators. But there is no series, there's no movies, there's no books talking about the heroic citizens who sat in the stands and watched the gladiators. Chris Ledoux had a song out. Let's see if I can get the lyrics right. The song was about a busted up old cowboy behind the chutes at a rodeo. And obviously his best days were behind him. And he never, ever did get that brass ring. He never won that championship. But the tagline of the chorus was, I'd rather trade 10 seconds in the saddle for a lifetime of watching from the stands. All right? Yeah, if you're a believer, I don't know. And I am. I've often thought over the years, because I've crashed and burned so many times. I've crashed and burned so many times. And, I've often got a picture in my mind of a conversation that's going on up in heaven. God looking down at Dwayne, and the angel walks up and says, man, what a loser. What a loser. I mean, look at him. He just lost his temper again. He just failed at that again. He just crashed and burned again. And I like to picture God looking down and saying, yeah, but that boy just won't quit. He just, watch him. He'll get back up, and he'll get up swinging, and he'll try again. He just don't quit. Don't quit. Get off your butt. Get out of those stands. Get in the arena. Get dirty. Get sweaty. Get bloody. Get knocked down. Get back up. Get knocked down again. Get back up. And when people point at you and laugh at your failure, say, yeah, I'm in the arena with a sword in my hand, and you're sitting up there in the stand with a biscuit in yours. Who's more proud? All right, so I hope that helps you a little bit. I hope it encourages you a little bit. Click like if you like. Subscribe. Somebody going through a hard time, click share and send this on to them. Again, if you listen to podcasts, go over and check out what I'm doing. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back. Don't forget Momma's channel, Dry Creek Momma. And we do have a Rumble. I've got to get something up there pretty quick. My Rumble channel is just where I do more of, it's just guy stuff that YouTube frowns on. A lot more cigar, pipe stuff, a lot more firearm stuff, a lot more of that type stuff. And so just trying to provide good content and encouragement and some teaching and stuff in this crazy world, and just trying to stay busy and stay relevant. Just trying to stay busy and stay relevant. So just as you go about the day, keep your head up, keep your chin up, keep your eyes clear. Be safe. Be logical. Be reasonable. And have fun. We'll catch you guys next time.